Hello. All right. Apologies for no stream yesterday, but we will effectively double stream to make up for it. And we're going to talk about what we were going to talk about yesterday. And then we're going to do some GAC. And that will be the weekend. I might do some 2XKO if I still have energy, but I feel like there's a lot to process coming up. Mike kind of screaming. Yeah, I see that. What the hell? I assumed the management had something to do with this. Testing 1, 2. Testing, testing. Testing. It might still be a little bit hot. Fucking management. Now they're sleeping on the job, too. I just need to encapsulate this thing in, like, plastic, whatever, so they can't hit the dial. It sounds fun. Alright. Just shout at me if it doesn't. At any point. Alright. So, I know we technically already went through this once, but that was when it was data mined. I already kind of took a peek back at it. And very quickly realized, holy shit, I think this set's actually cooking in some incredible ways. So I want to talk about it. Make sure YouTube sees the same thing. More or less. Workarounds are still to be busted for Theorycrafting. I think CG might have finally balanced. I'm gonna call it support cron. I mean, it's attacker cron now. So I've been working on my playstyle, right? Honing things, trying to get things in an okay feeling spot. And a random stray thought that I had a while ago was that A, healing immunity was extremely valuable, and B, damn if there were some teams that could just spread healing immunity out repeatedly or undispellably. That would be insane. And then today I sat back down and went back over yeah. And the more that I sat with this, I think this actually might be kind of fucking genius. So here's a few things you could say, right? A, attacker cron is going to be very violent. I assume it will be a support cron. I assume it will win very one-sidedly and very, very fast. What do you do? How do you make an appealing option when that is a dynamic? The answer, in my opinion, here is perfect. Which is you don't stop them, you defeat them on the way out. And the beauty here is it is locked for 2 turns, undispellable, unresistible. Thank fucking Christ, CG. They did the damn thing. 2 turns. Can't be dispelled or resisted. So what does that mean? That means that this technically has counterplay. Right? You could try to stall. What's the one thing support slash attacker cron cannot do? Is stall. You can't take your foot off the brake once you're going, right? So if we are looking to winning Grand Arena, and so think of ways to build a defense and different playstyles that can emerge from this set. Like obviously attacker cron is probably going to be a lot of the focus. And I'm sure there's other stuff we're going to talk about today. But how cool is it that I think building a defense that's just a straight across the board healer flush sounds like an extremely viable and possibly strong playstyle. My opponents are going to have some of the easiest wins against me they're ever going to have. And they are also going to have the easiest loss that they are ever going to have. You are going to beat me in like 5 turns. And then you're going to see a 60 after every battle. And I'm going to be racking up 67s. And that is an insane margin to try to shoot for. If that is possible as a playstyle, and my playstyle already feels pretty fucking dominant right now, and you just handed me this tool on every team? If this was a focused Datacron, I'd be like, well, okay, you know, yeah, like you could do it, but I mean, you could just send Seer or whatever that. No, dude, I could do this on every goddamn team. What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Like, and a lot of shit snaps into place so suddenly, so fucking cool. Half the healers suck ass. You know what's beautiful? They don't have to not suck ass for this, right? Part B, CG understood the assignment. What do they gotta do? They gotta get the turn. What's in this set? Lightside TM. Fucking, alright. Pull up the list. What's going on? Kicks? Boy howdy. Maz is on offense right now. Boy howdy. She sure is shit not going to be. Jolie Bindo. Alright. That's a conversation. Barris Offie. Hey, to apply that heal block, she has to take turns. So what's that gonna mean? Barris getting all that turn meter sounds kind of fucking sick. Maybe I should speed mod the heck out of her just so that she can really be the healing immunity police. Now, I don't know if I actually want to put her on Ray. Like, that's obviously one of the first thoughts, and I think Ray also just tends to synergize. I mean, it's the same, like, we're already playing in this space. We're already dealing with this shit, right? Of, like, what's the defining feature of Starkiller versus Ray this season? Stop Ben Solo from getting that heal block out, because that's, like, -1 to -2 banners, right? His health ignore is going to -1 you. Ray ult is going to -2 you. You don't want that shit to happen. Inquisitors. Hey, fucking dude, isolation, man. Inquisitor Barris, this would have been her season. I don't know if she's, like, technically playable, like, the last week or a couple weeks, or I don't know how that's gonna go. I wish she was playable here, because she would be in conversation here. Seventh Sister, dude, I think LV Clones is over. I think, ironically, you just go back to the Classico. You just go back to, like, LV Inquisitorius. Like, okay, is your big game gonna win? Yeah. Pay the fuck up. Give me the banners. Pay -5 right now. I want it. Big game isn't gonna win. Go read attacker words. But that knife cuts both ways, does it not? I know that Ancestral is a buff that stacks, which would indicate some problems for her. But there are ways that you can try to mitigate that. Plus also became fucking benefits herself. What are we even talking about? I don't know, man. Daka in GM on defense could easily be a possibility. I don't think it's Talion. I think I'd rather just do Daka. But, like, or maybe, like, it ends up being both. I just hope Grogu, I don't think I would place BKM still. Just because that team just has so little reactivity, such a little tool set that I don't think you get away with it. Yeah, dude. I think this is genuinely possible. I think Healer might actually... It's gonna take some finesse. It's gonna take some theory crafting and mod planning and like team building. I think healer can genuinely defeat attacker. Not by holding, but just using their power against them, so to speak. Fuck, man, I wish Wizard of Barris was real. I mean, Isolation's good for free to play, right? That's all I can really say. I want to play with the toys. People like me can shut the fuck up. Who cares, right? Fuck me. What even? Should we just do like a rapid rerun with fresh eyes? Somebody who cares what you well, you're not going to care about them to be so old. I mean, technically, that was already the dynamic for free to play farming them, right? Darkside at Peg, got it. Darkside Dazer stun, recover 10% of protection. Could be an efficiency tool for better banners on offense, but nobody immediately comes to mind. I mean, Balin, it might help a little bit, but that's not really a team-wide solution. Darkside accuracy up, evasion down. That buff and debuff just needs to be buffed. Like, just straight up. That's just not enough anymore. It's 50% for accuracy, up 25% for evasion down. Like, even the metas, even the exact scenarios where you would think, oh, that's the sort of thing I could use, it tends to just not be in the quantity that solves their problem. Darkside start battle with protection of 20%, incredibly small. Why is it not locked or anything? Just insanely low value. Darkside speed up. I mean, it is the closest thing you're gonna get to tempo. It'll probably end up being default in a lot of cases, just for value or relative lack thereof. Otherwise, accuracy up should just be cut on miss. If it's not that, I would at least like it to be like 50%. Right? Give me some real shit. Light side, 10% offense stocking, who uses shit we already know. Light side bulk exists. Yes, that's quite good. Light side TM, still running here. Obviously quite good. These are the two main real options. If 8 equals opposite up, not that real. 24% self-dispel. I can't say it's entirely not real. You know, stuff like Ray Casino, try to just like have a chance to self-dispel yourself to do a full damage ray ult. I can never fully rule that out, but on average, it's not plan A. Not even really plan B here. It's the tool of the cheeky scammer. Tank ally start the battle with damage ability for 2 turns dispellable. Nah. Tank DR. Fuck, that's actually kind of... I mean, look, given everything else on the set, it's still pretty unlikely, but, I mean... You put it in the right place at the right time, potential. Tank allies just stun the game 50% team and recover 25% of the protection. That's actually not bad. Fuck, okay, dude, man. There's... Everything I've just read so far is, like, cool and interesting and engaging, and then there's knowing that Attacker Card exists. Why does this all have to be in the same set? That Attacker Cron is just gonna override so much of this. There's some interesting shit to say here, right? 50% TM being kind of like an unstun plus the regen is like... That's not bad. That's not bad. Unironically, not bad. For some matchups, right? There are plenty of matchups that will just try to stun the crap out of you that, like, could give you a semi-unkillable tank if you just put it in the right place at the right time. Like, it's not bad. You're never going to pick it, probably, unless you just have a matchup where it hard techs. The first time each tank ally falls below 50% health, they gain damage for 1 turn and gain health save for 2 turns. Preventable. Spellable. Bad. This is just the rerun, right? The rerun post bug fix just not worth considering ever. They need to canonize the old bug and bring it back for it to ever really be competitive, and even then I still would argue it wouldn't be. First up, attack allies defeated, revive them with full bulk, and they gain a bonus turn limit once per battle. Tank allies taunt for 1 turn whenever another ally is afflicted with a debuff. Whenever tank allies taunt, they gain defense up for 1 turn and 5% CA, stacking until end of battle. Whenever a tank ally is critically hit while taunting, they recover 50% health and protection. Whenever a non-tank ally uses special ability, tank allies assist. If the enemy was taunting, deal 250% bonus damage. I really like this effect. Text is way off screen. I see it. Oh. I have no idea what the proportions are, so... Oh god. Close enough, I guess. But see, now YouTube is jankier than before. But yeah, like, I really like this level 6. But it's every time that it's been run so far, it's just been overshadowed. Like, this could be meta-defining on its own, and yet somehow it ends up being unplayable just by sheer virtue of comparison. Right. I think that's a shame. I wish it were not that way. Alright. Attacker, debuff equals offense. I mean, we already know, right? Unlikely to be picked. Attacker ally deals damage to an enemy and no other enemy is marked, inflict marked. The fact that it's 1 turn hurts a lot here. I actually don't hate this. I think this could have utility. The fact that it's 1 turn, dispellable, resistible. Well, not resistible, but dispellable is. And if it's not gonna, or if it's gonna be dispellable, then I would hope it would be more than 1 turn at minimum. Kind of kills the fun of this in the crib. Attacker riposte. I mean, hey, man, look. You give that to the right squad in the right place. In some metas, it can be incredibly explosive. Obviously, it was the JCal 4. It was, yeah, no, the JCal forwarder. We got Jedi Riposte, that was quite good. We got Jedi KL decently shortly-ish thereafter. Attacker a few bonus turn. Technically has some synergy, but... And then the one that you're gonna farm. Whenever ally inflicts a debuff on an enemy, all attacker allies gain accuracy up for 1 turn and 5% offense, stacking maximum 20% until the end of battle. Whenever attacker attacks on a turn, they deal true damage which can't be evaded and gain 5% def pen, stacking max 120 until the end of battle. Whenever an attacker uses a special ability, they deal 25% damage for each buff on target enemy. During attacker's turn, they ignore stealth and taunt if they have no debuff on them. Yeah. This is going to be the default for almost every team. Aside from the healer angle that I will be exploring. Yeah. Bonus true damage for Bad Batch that will give you double target practice generation. That will be a lot of extra turn meter for Crosshair if you are using the original Omega. That should be quite fun. Technically, you do get accuracy up on your Crosshair as well. That will also be quite fun. Technically, if Crosshair's Omicron is active, he will always be self-cleansing, that he will always have no debuff on him, so he can ignore stealth and taunt if he really so desired. And that will also be quite fun. You do have to be careful because target practice is a buff. So it can be used against you in a court of law. But, no, I think that this will... Obviously, Rolocron is about to expire. Today will be the last time that we play Bad Batch 2 Rolo. But past that point, this serves as a pretty nice transition, I would imagine. And frankly, even if attacker didn't exist, now that I think about it, like Tankron. Whenever a non-tank ally uses special ability, tank allies assists. I mean, Wrecker would assist you dealing damage twice. It's actually also incredibly funny for Bad Batch, to be honest. That also would not be bad. Like, this is, I think, going to be... I know Bad Batch 2 has haters. I know that this is going to be a ongoing theme as people start to struggle with the fact that they have R5 Bad Batch and R9 Mace. And the R9 Mace kind of sucks ass. And the R9 or the R5 Bad Batch seems to be having use cases, and they're gonna keep them blaming. Oh well, they're just carried by Rolocron. Oh, they're just carried by Attackercron. Oh, they're just carried by Tankcron. Bad Batch 2 has a very good foundation. They're going to plug in very easily with a lot of different types of crons. Antbag alone gives them a pretty solidly high power spike. That's not even that crazy of a Datacron. That, I think a lot of people would consider be a down-tempo Datacron season, and Bad Batch takes that and turns that into a combo accelerator. Right? Like, team good. I'm sorry if that disappoints you. Team good. Invest better next time. All Bad Batch needs to have is to have the doggo ever so slightly tweaked, or you just cut the dog. Just run a better unit. Your team sucks with a dog, isn't it? Damn, that's crazy. Cut the dog. Wow, problem solved. Go kill Hondo. Healer at the end of the turn. Healer allies recover 50% protection if they inflicted at least 5 debuffs that turn. I mean, IG-12. If it was Team-wide protection regen, it would be kind of funny to have for BKM, but... kind of who cares? The end of each turn, healer allies recover health and protection equal to 50% of the amount enemies recovered that turn. Always an effect that I kind of liked on paper, but it's never really had a moment to really matter. Whenever he allies damage all enemies with an ability, they grant 10 SDF for 2 turns, so all allies dispellable, preventable, resistible. Not resistible, but... yeah. And then we already kind of talked about it, right? You got the locked heal block when you take a turn. There's also some other, like, kind of cool, interesting stuff here, right? You got the cooldown reduction, which I would assume mean you need to be actively... like, I don't even think Barris... oh, I feel like we talked about this, and I feel like someone did say Barris did it, but I'm going to assume for now that, like, Barris unique does not count. Barris would have to heal after you are already missing health. This is like some Timmy shit. You are not necessarily going to get value out of this, but the fact that it's there and offered is kind of cool. But also, Fight Search is going to be over in 20 seconds. You're not going to get value out of this. But it's cool that it exists. It's fun to think about hypothetically never happening. Whenever ally falls below 25% health for the first time, all allies recover 50% health and 100% protection. I'll be very curious on how this works. I mean, it's kind of in conversation with Attackercron. I assume it will just be whoever's in the lead slot is the person who will benefit from this, and everyone else can get fucked. First time an ally is defeated, revive them with 50% health and 2 stacks of heal over time for 2 turns. I mean, conceivably, it could just be like a lead plus almost everyone dies, a lead revives, a lead heals. Thank you for playing. Oh, it's all allies recover 50% health and 100% protection. Interesting. I thought it was just the one. Whenever heal is critically hit, recover 50% health and protection and grant a stack of heal over time to the weakest ally for 2 turns. On paper, would be nuts if the Attackercron didn't exist. 50% health and protection is a kind of fucked up number. Yeah, we'll be doing GAC after this. Yeah. I am not necessarily advocating for people to try this. I could be the guinea pig. I'm more than happy to do it. I think it sounds fun. But I think if we are looking for ways to undermine Attackercron, this is the sort of sector that I'm going to be in. This is what I'm going to be looking for. Ways to see if we can leverage Healercron to use the tools of our enemy to defeat them. How about that? Support, whatever support ally deals damage to an enemy, no other enemy's ability blocks inflict ability buff for one turn on target enemy. Could be sleeper in some metas. I doubt that matters here. It's attacker crown time to shine. Support allies grant buff, 10% TM. Obviously, you would have to do your due diligence, make sure that there's no squad that just turns it into an infinite TM drain that could neutralize attacker cron ever getting to play the video game. But, you know, it's the limit once per turn variety that tends to limit its ability to pop off. Like, honestly, the one we see down lower, start the turn with fewer than 2 buffs, all other allies gain 50% turn meter. That tends to be more of an exploit just because, right, it's more repeatable. Obviously, the conditions got it rough, and you would be shocked how rough it could be for some teams. Like Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma staying lower than 2 buffs. Shockingly difficult. Having run an effect like that in the past with them. Whenever support allies on an enemy, they gain speed up and offensive for 2 turns and inflict exposed for 2 turns at the end of that turn, which can be evaded. Similar to what we see with the first order crown right now. I just think it's way too niche. You know, maybe I'm not thinking of the right support that could, like, exploit this a bunch and use this a bunch and make it look more impressive, but just on paper, I think you could do much, much better for a level 6 slot in this set. The Sotomichi counter grant all allies evasion up and tenacity for 2 turns and inflict tenacity down and evasion down on all enemies for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. Whatever non-support allies critically hit, grant their protection up 20%, stacking makes 100% for 2 turns. At the start of their turn, support allies dispel all buffs on all enemies. If evasion ups, health seal up, potency or tenacity up, or dispel to inflict the opposite debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. Whenever support is critically hit or inflexible to debuff, they stealth for 1 turn. This is almost great. Again, overshadowed by attacker, but there are worlds where, like, if this was a level 3, obviously attacker would just co-op this shit and it would just become attacker versus attacker evasion of casino gambling. It'd be a fucking nightmare. But I don't know, like, I don't hate this. Again, this is kind of like the tank cron, right? I think if you just gave an effect like this a run in its own meta, I think that this would add a lot of gameplay variety. Support reactive stealth? Kinda fucking nuts. Non-support critically hit sortie passive? Kinda fucking nuts. But yeah. It's a utility-based effect in a very unga-bunga shaped meta. So it is what it is, I guess. Yeah, certainly the assumption or expectation is that attacker cron will dominate, but the healer cron Dark Horse, I think, is going to be a very fun angle to explore this season. I'm gonna have a very fucking weird looking defense, I would have to imagine, if things go how I think that they're gonna go right now. Alright. I thought there was a way to just, like, see the full stats. Am I crazy? Or was it here? I think it was here. Can I not see it after I buy it? Really? Fine. Stats that matter. 80% defense, 145% defense, 65% health, an okay amount of offense. Not terrible. Huron, I remember this effect being bad. Just like vague resist, regen, assists, ignores, protection. I don't think this is the real shit. R2, I remember kind of liking this for how short and sweet it is, but knowing that it's tied to this FTC might be an immediate deal breaker. But R2 uses a basic ability, gets protection up and 50% TM, damage enemy using a special inflict fear. I mean, it could be fun for Leia in some respects. The fear, R2 assist equals 50% TM. That's kind of fun for Leia. Just a higher tempo R2. I certainly would not hate having that available. Flamethrower equals fear. Also adds a little bit of texture. But I don't know that will be the default option for Leia. Also, we didn't do basic character level 9, did we? No, we did not. Let's get through this one first, I guess. Maybe we could just get through all the FTCs first, I guess. Nihilus is just the same TM when he increases cooldowns. I'm gonna be honest. On Nihilus' bench, I don't think this is changing that. Like, Nihilus, I feel like, is very rarely getting to do the things that Nihilus gives a shit about. It's just like, what, he drains and then he gets an immediate basic, but like, so what, he's threatening drain on his next turn? I have fought against Nihilus during that last time that he ran this shit. I was not impressed. Click the eye. I'm pretty sure oh, it is there. Phasma, 50% CD, 80% offense, 25% crit chance, 20% health, 75% armor pen. Kinda yikes. Decent in a pinch, but probably one of the worst FTCs I've seen. Rex FTC, this is the one we just went over. 140% defense, 65% health, 50% offense, 45% tenacity, 105% potency. Not a terrible stat spread. Yeah, I don't hate it. HK, 150% defense, 150% CD, 45% CC, 45% tenacity, 35% potency, not bad. Boba, 80, 50, 75, 105. Kind of timid. Is it is. I don't hate this spread. I would have taken, like, just cut armor pen entirely for more defense, though. Not the most insane set of FTCs, but, like, it'll give you a decent floor for if you don't roll better stats. Which, honestly, like go my stat collection. Like, these are probably going to be main drivers just because my stats haven't been remotely good at all. GK, at the start of battle, there are no jail allies. Whenever GK taunts, all allies gain protection over time, 25% for 2 turns, and whenever he loses taunt, all allies recover 50% health of protection and gain defense up for 1 turn. Whenever GK attacks during his turn, if he has foresight, call other allies to assist, dealing 50% more. The first time another ally falls below 50% off for the first time, GK taunts for 2 turns. If he was already taunted, he gains DI for 1 turn. I have a near future interest in GK, because I think he has a lot of synergy with Chimere, aka the Stranger. I don't know that this level 12 is really doing it for me, though. Whenever he loses taunt, everyone gets 50% regen and defense up. Is not the worst effect. I don't hate it. I'm not blown away by it. Yeah. I feel like we could do better with this set for Chimere plus GK. Oh, 15 Rex. At the start of battle, if Rex is in the leader slot. Alright, next round. Level 3, Pog the Lesser. Alright, fucking fine. The 3v3 exists, I guess. Allies get 200% defense for the rest of the battle. Whatever any other ally uses a special ability, Rex assist during Rex turn. If any ally is afflicted with daze, that our ability block, dispel it, inflict protection disruption for 2 turns all enemies, which can't be evaded, dispelled, or resisted. Can't be dispelled is interesting. I'll protect disruption. But if they win the battle with protection disruption, they get full banners. Whenever an ally is inflicted with a debuff, all allies gain 10% TM. When an ally loses stack of protection, they gain foresight for 1 turn. Maybe it's good for 3v3. It might be. The thing that I'm coming back to here, obviously I was treating Rexlead with a fair amount of contempt. This Datacron is in conversation with pretty much everything that I've previously used against Captain Rexlead. So I feel like I have to come at it with some amount of baseline respect, right? I would be foolish not to at least give it that. But then I guess the question just becomes, well, what do you use? I feel like there's got to be an answer. What have I used in the recent past? I know I did CLS, I know I did Bad Batch. Maul, I think, would still kind of just mow this. I don't know that this Datacron really changes it at all. Maul doesn't give a shit about defense. I mean, they would get a good chunk of turn meter, but Maul's racking bonus turns, so only so much. And we have the unfortunate. Doesn't Rexlead actually have like a bit of tenacity that would stack with the Kron tenacity? Am I crazy on that? Isn't like 30% tenacity? I know it's 30% of health or something, right? But 30% max health. Yeah, he has 40% tenacity, but I don't think I get shared to clones. Hmm. Indeed. I don't think we have to rush up. Yeah, they get the tenacity from falling low. What else really existed back then? I don't really see Rexlead lately. Qui-Gon. I don't think it's reliable though, especially with Captain Rex. Captain Rex could just fucking scam me out of Qui-Gon. BKM, but there's your days. You do get a revive. So you get one Captain Rex ult for free. Is the answer a lot lamer and more boring than I'm giving it credit for? Am I thinking about this matchup too honestly? Am I not thinking about this as an attacker Kron player? I feel like that's probably true. Attacker Kron just doesn't exist in my mind yet, even though it's gonna dominate fucking everything, I assume. I mean, you've got 20% defense plus baseline scaling, though, right? You start with fucking 145% defense, throw 200% on top, like fives is probably gonna be knocking on 90% cap already. They do not have stuff like anti-fear. Is this just Malgus Malik 2-Man, the video game? It might be. Protection disruption, sure, but they don't really have any kill pressure on Malgus, right? You never bring DR here. Yeah, I can't roll every Chronos attacker words. Yeah, that's why I'm gonna roll them as healer instead. Very straightforward and easy task. Yeah, we gotta go through the level 9s. I think people are gonna post this. I think Malgus Malik 2-man solves. I mean, they have tenacity down, stuns, TMR, spam, potential harassment. I can't, like, really deny that, but I don't know. Malik Siege Engine, you get your shocks, you get your heal blocks. You've got attrition. Have people tried it before? Is it an insight? Surely people have fucking tried it before. Surely. 98% win rate. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, I don't think this is going to push that needle at all. Unfortunate. Poggle, whenever you inflicts ability block, also inflicts burning. Gains TM and all enemies gain offense stacking until the end of battle. I mean, the all allies gain 20% offense stacking is kind of cute. This basically just translates to any turn mass assist. Geo just need help, man. Geos need mechanical, fundamental game plan help. Like, if they had any sort of proactivity at all, this would actually be a pretty sick clause. But I can't help but feel like for the majority of use cases, sitting there and being a Geonosian squad and having 0 reactivity and 0 proactivity and not that much durability, you're just playing a fucking horror movie. The audience can see the window behind you and you can't. You don't have a flashlight. And it's just like, well, what am I supposed to do there? Yeah, it's like, it's kind of funny for Geos. Means cutting Sunfact. Sunfact doesn't do shit for you. I mean, he does some stuff, but like, if you were unironically trying to do Geos here, you would run like Chirpa LSTM Poggle, surely. I would imagine. I86 critically hit, damage immunity, 25% TM, inflicts deathmark for 2 turns, can't be dispelled if the enemy was already deathmarked, gains protection up, retribution up, and speed up. I mean, inflicts DI is, or inflicts deathmark is obviously something. But how many teams can actively just like leverage this outright? I mean, certainly this would be good for cleanups at minimum. 88, if HK in the lead slot. Alright, next one. Poe Dameron. At the start of each encounter, Poe inflicts fear on all enemies, which can't be copied, dispelled, evaded, prevented, or resisted. Exposes them for 2 turns. That is a foot in the door, to be sure. Is that a defense tool, though? Because fear ain't what it used to be. There are more than a few teams that can just be like, eh, I'm not afraid. Exposes them for 2 turns and can't be evaded or resisted. Whatever taunt expires on Poe, all enemies are inflicted with fear for 1 turn. Maybe this is an offense tool. It's at the start of each encounter exposed. It's not per turn exposed, though, is it? Like, this is obviously quite strong. But my gut is telling me it's not as good as it sounds defensively, and you can probably do better offensively. I think this will just murder some people. But I think if you approach it from a problem-solving perspective, I don't know that this is actually going to be that nuts. On paper, it sounds fucking crazy. It's flexible, too. Very plug-and-play flexible. Maybe just slam that shit in Ahsoka. Is that anything? Kind of funny anti-Great Mothers? I mean, you've got LSTM already. I don't know that I feel like absolutely needing. You've never had problems with Spy dealing too little damage. I mean, that's a fair point. The one thing I would shout out though is because it's permanent stacking opposite till end of battle means that you could like Spy re-up nuke and not need to rebuild stacks. You could just be like, all right, second nuke, all right, you're done, type shit. But we're deep in hypotheticals for a matchup that I don't think exists in a lot of cases. Whenever a buff expires on another ally, Poe taunts for 1 turn. Hey, Leia makes her team immune to fear, right? Quick question, I believe, or is only she? Alright, I'm lazy. Thought you, Jim. I'm sorry. Control F, fear. Yeah, allows me to expose a fear when she has fearless. That makes sense. Given the branding. I can see what they were going for. Alright, so Poe Ahsoka probably ain't it. Unless you can bait the opponent into running tank round so that she always taunts that she doesn't have fearless, so that she becomes fearable. This is surely a sustainable game plan. I mean, Ray question mark? It's not gonna be the stun, but I don't know if he's gonna be the stun effects. Ray, Poe, Ezra. Just slap everything with seemingly solid sounding words. So there's your immune. I don't know if it's stun effects or if it's just stuns. He is immune to fear, but his squad is not. Immune to daze and stun, but not stun effects. I don't know. That's not another thing. Zorion defense with Poe is like maybe kind of funny, but losing LSTM, or basically not running LSTM in an LSTM era, seems questionable. Now, granted, obviously, if the fear takes effect, then who gives a fuck about not having LSTM because you are effectively 75% TM preload if they just skip their first turns. But I don't know. Certainly the most competitive offering so far. Decent stats spread. Bit of health, solid defense, okay offense. This is not the right run. Solid defense, solid crit damage, solid crit chance for people who need it. There's a fair amount of characters these days who need 45% crit chance. I mean, who else could splash? Theoretically, splashing is a lot harder, for whatever that's worth. Does Leia gain Fearless at the start of the encounter? There's only a first turn. Maybe you could still technically pre-fear. Right? If the fear is applied to start a battle and Leia... When do you gain Fearless? At the start of her turn and each enemy's turn, Leia gains Fearless if she didn't already have it until she receives damage. I mean... It's entirely possible you could still just prank Drogon. Well, okay, but wait. If Drogon is feared and he skips his turn, the boy still probably gets a super basic, right? And also, it's not like Leia rides or dies on the super basic to kill Ahsoka anyway. I think it's just cocked. It would be funny just to try to be a dick to Leia players, but I think Leia is just still just so oppressively overpowering that it would be a funny middle finger and then you die anyway. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on them. This could be a very shifty sort of like, not necessarily have to like move it around every round, but you could even try to do that, right? And I don't think it would be the worst idea. HK, I know, fear on grenade, it's an AoE fear. It looks worse in context of Poe too. Poe is kind of just HK but more interesting. Yeah, the Datacron has been good in the past. I still have never really liked the Kron that terribly much, to be honest. On defense, I always felt it was a little bit too honest. On offense, it was killing stuff I didn't feel like was crazy hard to kill otherwise. Level 3 Dengar, at the start of each encounter, Dengar inflicts doubt on enemies for 2 turns, which can't be evaded, dispelled, or resisted. I mean, I most associate with Dengar with Balin nowadays, and ironically, I don't know how excited Balin is to see unresistible debuffs. I mean, hey, right? Like, if you're Balin fighting, like, GMO or whatever, locking them all out of stealth and foresight, that's probably a good thing to be doing. Like, let's not lie to ourselves here. Would you prefer more TM train to start a battle? Sure. This is harmless. This is perfectly fine. Whenever an enemy evades Dengar's attack or resists the debuff, all enemies are inflicted with a stack of damage over time and thermal death for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. Okay. Locked, undispellable, 2-turn down to start a battle? Okay. Fair enough. You want to make that unresistible locked? Sure. Again, if we're talking for Balin, make this resistible. It would have been so sick. This is the one time that I am begging you make it resistible. Every other time, if I don't see can't be resisted, I'm sad. This is the one time. I would have. It would have been pretty neat. Level 6 Zam always critically hits if able. The first time Zam is defeated, while there are any active allies, she revives with health and stealth. Whenever Zam inflicts an enemy with thermal detonators, she gains 10% defense and offense stacking for the rest of the encounter, and there's a 50% chance to inflict additional thermal det. I have played Zam Omicron more than most people. I think it's fair to say. I was using that shit long after people were calling it decrepit. Zam has died in battles that I used her. When it got to that point, the battle was already fucked. And at no point in that battle being fucked would Zam reviving have saved it. So that first line is completely meaningless. And that second line of stacking defense and offense, I mean, her damage can be okay at times. I'm not going to say that stacking offense and defense is useless. Buddy, there's Attacker Cron going right now. If you're playing Darkside Bounty Hunters, you are probably going to be playing Attacker Kron. Boba Fett. At the start of his turn, Boba Fett dispels all buffs on all allies. At the start of his turn, Boba Fett dispels all buffs on allies and grants them defense up, heal over time, and suited for 2 turns. Odd. For a Chimney with a thermal jet, they lose 3% defense and tenacity. Whenever an ally is critically hit, they gain 25% stacking protection for 1 turn. It's a set that's very big on what if we just gave people sort of unique. The start of battle of Boba Fett is a leader slot. All allies gain 2% defense. Whenever an enemy takes damage from a thermal jet expiring, all allies recover 2% other protection. Gain TM 80% chance. Enemies afflicted with thermal jet. I am not crazy impressed with the Boba lead stuff. This is not going to stop NS. This is... I mean, it's minus 50% defense as an tenacity, right? Worst case. I guess technically 18 is the cap. I don't think this is real. Yeah, this sounds extremely whatever. I mean, the Balin shout is possibly interesting. Darkseid doesn't exactly have the best offerings here either for when S24 expires. It's either going to be a stack run or it's going to be a flexible, possibly Balin run. The 6 and the 9, I do not think are real. This I remember just being trash. Enemy takes a turn. Oh, Geosoldier bonus turn? I don't remember reading that. Do we care? Why couldn't I know this is a reference to old school Phasma? Fuck the lore. Put this with that. What are we doing here? The Geos needed help on this anniversary a hell of a lot more than Afro did. Let me tell you. Put the Poggle Datacron with the Soldier FDC, and maybe put another bug in there as well. First Order has a Datacron right the fuck now. Why is Phasma in here? Who invited her? Ray Scavray also has it. Scavray is like the best attacker in the game right now. What are we doing? I know it's a reference. I know it's a nod, an honor of Galaxy of Heroes' history. But fuck these people. I don't know, man. Obviously, bonus turn crons have a long history of being good. They did just recently fix the bonus looping on bonus. Geosoldier, as I recall, Geosoldier calls a random ally to assists unless you are running full Geos with GBA, and then it becomes targeted. Is that correct? Yes. Targeted only with the Hive Mind bonus. This is a old character, and old kit equals random. So, even the Theorycrafting potential of, oh, it's kind of funny, I could just like maybe use him as a plug-and-play flex and call someone to assist. Yes, but also kind of no. Just need HGB on it. That's true, but like, you're on a 2-character package at the point. I don't know. Level 6 Scav Ray. It's just a combo piece off of Geosoldier bonus turn. Whenever a soldier gets a bonus turn, all allies recover 20% health and protection. Scav Ray gets stacking offense max 160 until end of battle. Still less payoff than Scav Ray currently has with the relic stacking. Level 9, Captain Phasma. During Captain Phasma's turn, she dispels all debuffs on all allies. If debuffs are dispelled that way, they gain advantage for 2 turns and start of each counter of Phasma's to the lead slot. Allies gain double bulk and 200% defense. Whenever another ally uses an ability during their turn, Scav Ray assists if she has no debuffs. Whenever an ally attacks on a turn, they remove 50% TM. And inflict this protection disruption for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. I mean, maybe this is trying to be a TW cron, but like, as far as I can ever think or remember, Like, this clause is kind of not much, right? Phasmicron is like the quintessential foot on the gas out of the gate, and hopefully you never get to play the video game. If you do, I might just kind of immediately implode. Obviously, you can get like reactively debuffed. I don't know. I mean, the bonus turn I can never really rate too low, but I am fairly unimpressed here. Soldier is just not the highest impact character to give this to. Alright. Cup, if there are no GL allies, Cup gains the following effects. Attack a stun enemy, remove 100% TM, can be resisted. Random attacker ally gains a bonus turn. Whenever Cup gains TM, he removes the same amount of TM from a random enemy. GR allies remove 20% TM whenever they damage enemy, which can't be resisted. It's not bad, but my Amidala is not really in the interest of random additions. Also, I don't think Bane gets affected by this too terribly, right? Not terrible, but I'm not blown away by it. Flies whenever fires attacks out of turn, deals 150% bonus damage. God, it's a time for... I don't think I ever actually played with it, but I always joked about crit damage 5 because he always has the damage bonus and is never taunting under gas. He deals 150% bonus damage, inflicts offense down and healing meter for one turn on all enemies, which can't be evaded or resisted. Whenever Fives loses taunt, he removes 50% TM from all enemies and inflicts blind on them for 2 turns, which can't be evaded or resisted. It's the K2 clause. This doesn't feel particularly real to me. It's not terrible, but I don't think this feels particularly real to me. I don't think it's worth going out of your way to force. Biggs at the start of battle, if Wedge until he's an ally, Biggs gains 50% bulk for the rest of the battle. Whenever Biggs damages an enemy, inflict defense down and vulnerable on target enemy for 2 turns, which can't be resisted. Whenever Wedge assists, he deals 50% bonus damage with a 75% chance to attack a second time, dealing 100% bonus damage and a 50% chance to attack a third time, dealing 200% bonus damage. Whenever an ally attacks out of turn, Biggs Dark Letter gains 5% TM. I think I remember talking about this originally. The main idea I would have is if you're posting Leia on defense, you would just post Wedge Biggs and just force them to gamble. Because I think if you're using this team on offense, I don't know that it would ever feel great to do the whole 75-50% chance thing on offense. It sounds amusing to just, like, time to guess asshole somebody. This isn't the same crown that rolled through Leia a while back. That was Wedge Cannon. Wedge just assists on every move. This is more so like... What have people been using on Leia lately? What are people using on my Leia before she went on Ahsoka duty? A fair question, I would imagine. Counters to my Leia include Reva, which they would possibly just ability block Biggs from getting to play the video game his way. JML doesn't get all that much Biggs value in my opinion, but I mean if you get taunt ignore at the very least you could maybe jump scare Revit or something. Bane, I mean if the Biggs assist happens to happen on Bane, that could maybe scare people. That's okay, not really gonna get too much value. Not really gonna get any value. About recent seasons. I'm not seeing, like... Some people apparently use Java. I don't know. The ceiling on paper is high, but I don't know that this... I don't know. Like, obviously, if an opponent posted against me and all of a sudden I had to, like, run a matchup where I was just, like, afraid for my life of Biggs activating and just deleting somebody, it will ring differently. But... I don't hate it, but I don't know if I can endorse it. It just is. Exceedingly. Follows the Empire M Trooper, all allies gain 50% health steal, max health, and or 50% health steal in bulk. Trooper gains defense up and taunt for 2 turns. The man already has a pre-taunt. Why did they re-up his pre-taunt? Or is it not 2 turns normally? Is that what's happening? Is it just 1 turn? Whenever Short loses taunt, he regens. I don't hate it, but Iden's already very scarce for use cases for me these days. Ugnaught, start a battle. Ugnaught has 30% evasion. Start evasion counter, inflict breach and health down for 2 turns on all enemies, which can't be evaded or resisted. Is dispellable. For each droid enemy, Ugnaught has 20% counter chance, crit chance, defense, health steal, max health, and max protection. Start of his turn, dispels all defense on himself and resets all his cooldowns. Whenever Ugnaught evades an attack, all enemies lose 10% max protection. Whenever he damages a stunned enemy, he inflicts 2 stacks of dot. When he's damaged an enemy with more than 5 buffs, dispel all the buffs. Inflict with 2 stacks of damage over time, doubling his droid enemies. This is not real. Next slide, please. 2B. 2 guys, 30% crit chance and crit damage while he's inflicted with a debuff. Oh, this is the self thing, is it not? Yeah, at the end of his turn, count 2 is inflicted with disarm until the end of his next turn. Goofy thing. I was never super impressed the first time this ran. I mean, Dooku Assist is not shabby. This might get some use in TW, but, like, I don't think this is going to take over in GAC. I mean, Dooku is an attacker, right? But, like, I don't know. Maybe usable with Trench on offense in certain matchups. Gain yourself 100% protection. It's just filler. Ayla attacks at a turn. They gain a stack of heal over time and protection over time for 2 turns. They inflict target me with protection disruption for 1 turn. I mean, the protection disruption is cute. That, like, maybe you could try to, like... I mean, I was going to say maybe you throw in Q8 and, like, the mass would give you protection disruption, but Q8 does not have trouble killing stuff. So I see absolutely 0 point in that. I don't know. Not terribly impressed. Railguard, RG loose taunt, remove 50% TM. Not a bad effect. I don't think RG has particularly great potency that I recall. Luminara. Whenever an enemy attacks at a turn, all enemies are inflicted with protection disruption for 2 turns, which can be dispelled, evaded, or resisted, and all allies gain a stack of heal over time and protection over time for 2 turns. Start of Luminara's turn, all allies with less than 50% health gain 2 stacks of heal over time for 2 turns. I mean, locked protection disruption as well as locked healing immunity? Man, wait. But the protection disruption, I'm pretty sure, makes your banners count as having full protection, or is it only... Is it only if you had full protection when your protection gets removed that it counts as full? I think it counts as full, even if it wasn't full. Which would mean that this is almost... Like, Luminara being a healer with Healercron means Luminara is probably going to get used this season. Not even for the purposes that I was normally eyeballing Luminara, but just for Healercron purposes. I don't know that I actually want to run this, unless I thought that the Protection Disruption would increase the chances of getting a hold. But if my entire hope and game plan is, hey asshole, enjoy the healing immunity and some chip, thanks for playing, I think that this is counterproductive. If it's not actively making the fight notably worse for them, this effectively donates them 5 banners, is assuming that they can beat me for whatever team she goes on. Weird. I think I remember liking this originally too, but coming back to this with new eyes, like, it's too much, I think. Unless I was just like, damn, this team is sick. Damn, this team is gonna like farm some holds. I think that this is unironically a skip. This might be the highest power skip that I've ever said, but just fundamentally for the game plan theory crafting, I don't know that this is a thing I need. Interesting. Start a battle, there are no GL allies. Why are they so afraid of DVLV? Why? It's never had an actual season. What are we doing? Why are you so afraid of it? Just let that shit rock exactly once. It'll be fine. What are we doing? You know what the one problem with DVLV is? This is stop seeing targetable DV unkillable. Then fucking just say that. It's what the Solar Emperor is present. It die immediately. It's not to stop LVDV. But the DVLV thing, the problem is DV lead shuts off when DV dies. So DV can't be defeated until other allies defeated. Fixes that. I mean, look, I guess me having this reaction and saying that I want it to exist is probably the reason why it doesn't exist, but still, holy shit. I don't know. It wouldn't be some insane world ender, I don't think. Maybe it would be too effective against inexperienced players, though. Maybe that's the truth of it. Whenever an ally is defeated, DV disposal debuffs on himself, resets all of his cooldowns, and takes a bonus turn. The problem with this is Darth Vader defense AI does choke first instead of Merciless Massacre. It would have been kind of savvy if it just said, like, resets all of his cooldowns except for Force Choke. Or, like, sets the cooldown of Force Choke to 1. So that way he popped MM and then had Force Choke, would actually be kind of sick. I mean, it will be nice to use with Aphra, I suppose. Because DV is kind of a death liability in Aphra at times. He says the cooldown of Merciless would honestly be better. Sets the cooldown of Force Stroke to 1 and resets everything else, I would be on board with. Because it's the best of both worlds. It's nice to have Merciless Choke Blade. Whatever you use Merciless specific cooldown of Force Stroke. Hey, that works too. Sure. Yeah, this is like vaguely nice for fucking Aphra, I guess, just to not have DV Sudoku before you get to do the dang thing. But I'm not like head over heels for this. Talia. First time Talia falls below 30% at dispel, recover 40, get a bonus turn. I still hate effects like this at this threshold because it means that I think you have to live at 30% or below. You have to get knocked to 30% or below and not die in said process. But gain a bonus turn is in conversation with reapplying healing immunity. I mean, you would need like a savior mechanic or something to try to guarantee getting value. But it is technically... I mean, Tully gains 50% TM when other allies use a special ability on their turn. That's kind of more in line, right? I mean, I guess it depends on if you expect that your team is actually going to get to play the video game, though. This would help push you to healing immunity more regularly. This is kind of an inconsistent clause, but it is a reactive attempt to try to get it out before you go. If you're eyeballing Talia for some healer cheesy shit, neither of these are actually seem that bad to me, just kind of depending on which tempo you're going for. But I don't think this is like a high priority for the set. Baze Balbus the Chariot is an ally that whenever Baze or Chariot attacks on a turn, they gain 50% crit chance and equalize. While attacking a turn, if Baze or Chariot scores a crit, they both recover 10% bulk. If Baze has less than 50% health, whenever he takes damage, the weakest enemy is dealt 100% of the damage, which can't defeat them. We are probably going to be using Baze Chariot today. I don't think I'm blown away with this. Even if it said like 50% crit damage. I don't know. I enjoy the characters, even though I am technically working to completely cut them from being used. But I mean, look, you can't win them all. I can take or leave this. I'm not super concerned. I don't think this is that impressive. Feels like kind of a callback to the chase meta. But yeah, like, super sustain for these just isn't that crazy to me. I mean, is this the first time we've seen 100% reflect in PvP, though? Maybe I'm undervaluing that, but... maybe I'm underrating that, is the one thing I will say. But the damage can't defeat them, so you would need some way to follow up. Which is easier said than done. Or Clone Wars Chewbacca uses basically ability on their turn, other allies gain 20% TM. Next slide, please. Akbar uses basically on their turn, otherwise. Next slide, please. Jedi Consular. While Jedi Consular is active, allies are immune to healing immunity. Wait, he's the mulligan. Whenever Jedi Consular uses an ability, all allies recover 50% bulk, and the weakest ally recovers an additional 10% bulk. Where Consular uses Jedi Healing or Revive all defeated allies at 100% bulk. This is kind of usable. I mean, this is kind of a tool to counteract the strat that I'm eyeballing. This is your get out of Healer Crown jail free once. New post in Datamine channel is actually kind of interesting, would explain some things. What it? Oh, just explaining how the Coliseum scoring works. I'm not too worried about that right now. Sig has been doing some really good posts today, though. Check him out. But not the current focus. Jedi Counselor. Actually, wait, okay. It almost entirely depends on Healer Crown popularity. And I guess he could end up on defense as well, but that's iffier to me. But yeah, the immune to healing immunity could be a 65 secure at a moment. Certified. Barris, first time Barris defeated. There's one other active value revival. Okay, Barris Cron returns. Plus healer 6 on top. That's gonna be a pretty damn good Datacron. No complaints. 10 out of 10. Daka, whenever another ally is defeated, I mean, Malicos is kind of well positioned against it. He blocks revives and also benefits from healing immunity. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, I guess. But it's not just the revive, it's the other allies gain 100% team offense, so those who Malkos doesn't one-shot will be angry with him for a bit, but he will have DI. Fucking... Old Daka, whatever other ally is defeated, Old Daka takes a bonus turn and their cooldowns are reset. I mean, this is obviously in conversation with the Datacron wanting her to have to take a turn to get healing immunity out. Like, if you put this in GM, can't you revive any GM member? Fuck no. Is that just going to re-up your healing immunity application to try to get some tax? Yes, it will. That does not sound bad to me. That sounds pretty decent to me, in fact. I don't hate that. And maybe you could get into some fun Plague healing immunity shenanigans. Like, in a weird way, Plague healing immunity has never been more real than it kind of sounds right now. I don't know if there's... God, it's nice this is a defense team this season. That might not be wrong. And this is healer level 6 the same as before? If it is, I am seeing it with a new perspective. Perhaps I traded it too harshly. Possible resist trooper mechanics. Whatever resist trooper uses basic, he exposes. Whatever resist trooper attacks, it exposed. Other allies gain 20% TM. Resist trooper 50% attacks to attack and expose a random enemy. Very cheesy. Has had some applications in the past, I want to say. If it'll loop the cron, yeah, basically. Either abuse cases will arise for it or it won't. Not really my area of interest lately, but I am sure it will destroy something, and then you'll see it and you'll be like, oh, I now like this meta slightly less. Qui-Gon mechanics. Whenever Qui-Gon damages an enemy, I mean, for what it's worth, with shit like Pokron, there would be ways to interact with this that we don't normally have. So I can't even be shitty about infinite loop teams, because you do have tools. I can't hate too terribly. Qui-Gon, whatever Qui-Gon damages enemy with a special, enemy does an armor shred, so it's armor shred. Basic damages, inflict expose, and it gives protection up. I've never been too impressed with these. The heal immunity is Doom. The heal immunity is what I am most interested in. Lando critical hit, bonus damage for double damage increased by 25% stacking for the rest of the encounter. We finally have the Lando that I thought existed when I first installed the game. We finally made it. I don't think this is real. I think that character is insanely ancient, but it is a very funny thing to read. I do appreciate that they made this, even though this will be a low roll on your Datacrons. You finally made it. Fucking Wedge lead Lando was my first squad. Wedge lead Lando, Biggs, Chira Bays. On Mothra, but this will be Cinema. I mean, maybe. If you find a situation where you can just park there and sit there and ramp at Infinite TM and ramp, and then just drop an AoE and try to wipe everyone. You need, like, Conquest, Phoenix self-regenerating to just let you sit there at levels of do-nothingness, though. I mean, it is worth noting that he doesn't ramp all of his damage, he only ramps double down, so technically speaking, your damage output doesn't increase over time until you want to do. So if you fight against, like, a Rey, Barris, Cal, maybe you could just aura farm and try to hit the funny button. It can't be countered. I mean, like, if you're doing Mon Mothma Luthen, though, you have the days on Trooper assist, so start about alright. It's not... I can't rule it out, right? The pieces are there. If you really wanted to make this work in the right conditions, it checks out. But I don't know if it's, like, something I'm interested in. I think you still will just run into. I think Lando has terrible base offense. I think the move just doesn't have the craziest ratio. You will need a lot of stacks, I believe. Double that reduces on cooldown. Well, that was the whole idea, is you would wedge double AoE, I want to say. Because wedge will give you team on crit. So just AoE, AoE. Cad Bane has 3 of them. Fucking excuse you. Cad Bane assist? Oh fuck, that returns. This was actually pretty decent on Balin. I might like that more than I like Dengar. Straight up. First time Cad Bane goes below 100% health, regen, and gain 100% TM. Whenever Cad Bane deals damage, remove 25% TM from the enemy. God, if they can't package deal, that would be lovely. I mean, Cad Bane assist with Balin. Different packages achieving different things in conversation with different things, right? Cad Bane assist, very much in conversation with like Gungan's trying to be Balin. This gives you a lot of extra generator pressure. If you're posting Balin on defense, I would probably like Gungan's aren't really going to care about Dengar locked out, I would imagine, right? Gungans are going to care about Cad Bane being there. Type shit. I think Cad Bane probably better for Balin than Dengar in a lot of cases. Sunfac, 100% counter chance to immune to daze and stun. Whenever Sunfac attacks out of turn, he dispels all debuffs on himself, deals bonus stream equal to 50% of the max health. For each debuff dispelled this way, Genius and allies gain 5% defense, max health, max protection at the end of battle. Not nearly as good as the other Geo effects that we talked about. I mean, maybe there's some sort of hypothetical scenario where, like, haha, I'm doing an infinite TM train, I'm hitting Darth Scion or something like that, and every time that we mass assist, he applies pain to me, and then I assist and it dispels, and we get infinite stacking, or, right, like, maybe that's the vision, but I can't think of any of those scenarios off the top that would match that theoretical ceiling. I just don't think it is. It's like close to being decent, but I don't think it's real. Is it them trying to stop DV soloing Geos at every there? I know that's like a huge thing in the early mid game, but does it really even stop that? When he attacks at a turn, he dispels all debuffs on himself, but isn't the standard DV thing just gonna be MM, choke on Sunfac, Coldblade, a squishy? Like, what? I don't think this is in conversation with DB at all. Right? He can't counter choke. He can't dispel or protect a squishy. I don't think he achieves that goal. In my opinion. Oh, bad DVs. You see people get stuck on stuff actually GBA. But I don't think this really... I mean, what? So your angle is that, like, while you're waiting for MM to come back, then he would be countering and slightly stacking? I mean, maybe. Like, I'm not going to say no to that, but it's such a narrow thing. That's key to ramps? Yeah, but we're talking a 15% of a 5% ramp per counter. I mean, if it's DV lead, then obviously, like, every time that he cleanses himself, the dots come back, so it's kind of just trying to build a infinite value engine. I don't know, man. I see what you're saying for early mid-game. I don't know that I'm a full believer in it, but I see how it could get there. I got ability defense now. I just think it needs to ramp faster for me to really feel like it's Thanos type shit for the matchup. I'm just saying type shit so much today. I don't know. I would have just liked to have seen a more aggressive ramp. It's not good, but you're saying this is what it's intended for? Yeah, I can see it. I see the vision. Alright, the level 9s don't strike me as like, I mean, there's obviously some stuff. But for how many there are, I don't think I'm head over heels for too terribly many of them. It's actually a shorter list than I thought it would be. Stats are quite good. Sixes are quite good. Threes are quite good, at least for the light side. Dark side, mixed bag, but trending towards mid. Yeah, crit image, bulk, crit jizz upper pen, tenacity. They're saving all the unique 9s for FGCs these days. I don't know if that's true necessarily. Hondo's quite good. FOSFTP is quite good. Knight, Ray, Merrick. There's been plenty of solid 9s. I think it's more just by nature of the characters they chose to select that they didn't inject as much sauce as they could have. The characters are already kind of in alright shape. It's just a lower power, a couple of Datacron sets. Alright, shall we GAC? 4 gets too late. Alright, into the belly of the beasts. One last time. I mean, we might still continue this matchup in the future. We will have to see how this next set goes. My turn. How did I get so many dodges with accuracy arrows up? Fuck it, whatever. Just keep whacking away at him. Convenient timing for us, actually. Thank you, Hondo. Yeah, let's take the TM push, I think. Our damage is quite high. Some might say almost too high. Not the guy I would like to see lost. Fuck, dude. Arsene Wrecker is gonna be sick here. How fucked am I? It's not great. We literally just needed, like, one last moment. We had a rough go of it against Double Hondo last time was here. That might make this GAC a little bit painful. That perhaps I should have just timed out. No. We should have just done C-Bane last time was the takeaway. You feared my man. You couldn't agree my man. Crosshair somehow got killed while being unkillable. How did they even do that? Alright. Do we bother trying Seer here? I don't think we do. Fuck, dude, that sucks. We were literally like one turn away from just mopping up. Wrecker is the key to all of this. He just needed to hold the line a little bit longer. If we see Bane here, we'll have to figure out something better for Maze. If we see her here, we would have to figure out something better for Riva. That is not a statement that I love making. I think last time, what happened last time? I think we did see Bane, but I think like someone was already technically dead. We have a guest visitor today. Don't ask why. Or do, I'm not your dad, but things are getting kind of weird. I mean, they are eminently more killable than usual. They don't really have any bulk at all. They don't have DR. Like, Seer may have possibilities here. Could we try Seer here and then just, like, Bane against Riva? Is that anything at all? I don't know. I still don't know if I like how that sounds. We are down a battle. We would like C to try to get 4 here. It's an okay amount of health. Bane could still possibly just overpower it. So there's nothing like Zor yet. We can saw this. Starkiller, Nicer. We could try a Seer. I feel like both angles are valid. But this feels like a possibly higher scoring one. Kind of tempted to just take this instead of LSDM. Is that silly? And our next best is like down here. That's about the vibe I expect. The man has a 90% defense. Non-negotiable. Appreciate that. Captive on crew. Appreciate that. I mean, he can't ignore tots anymore, right? So he has to do crew. Still untargetable. Why did you skip ahead of Maul during his moment of anguish? Good question. Do we ever just 5-4-3-5? I am choosing not to for better or worse. Crew is doing an insane amount of heavy lifting. Farewell, son. You did your best. Please fuck off. Unironically, I think R10 Wrecker might have been the best first R10 I could have done. Marin was already doing broadly pretty okay for a lot of the season. She can only DI other people, right? Not herself. Yeah. It might be Malicos, which I wouldn't mind. Farewell. Hondo might just solo us. Everyone did their job as this checkmate. So only so much you could do here. I mean, we took a -10 to pick up banners elsewhere. Was it a dumb idea? I mean, it wasn't clear that it was gonna be a -10 at the time, but fucking, it's Malicos against OG Hondo. Like, you have to assume that he's gonna put your Malicos in handcuffs immediately when you're considering that. All right. Shall we? And if this goes tits up, then maybe it just wasn't meant to be, and I'll consider Crit of NC next season. All right. Definitely not bug Jocasta. What words of wisdom do you have for us? Oh, fuck, it's KB. I didn't even realize. I'm so used to people running dog shit. -50? Immediately? I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Alright, we're plan B. We're ulting. Fuck this shit. Get me out of here. She whiffed the healing immunity. What do you mean? I didn't know she could whiff it. Alright, taunt drops. Does she even need to remain linked if she's fucked? Surely this cannot backfire. -1. What's the stats? 44% crit damage. Not the highest test of spirit. Attacker Kron kind of nixes the counter out completely. I mean, what are you saying, that the 4 attacker team is going to leverage Attacker Kron well? I would assume so, yes. Alright, both of yous. Isn't KB undefeatable with protection? Or is it only in lead slot? Top off and then drop off? Alright. Does it matter if you like undersize the cleanup? I think it does, right? Don't you still get undersized banners technically? I can't say it's something I've really set out to do that much before. What are they? I'm just gonna say my LSTM, but what are they? LSTM. What a coincidence. Same. We are not gonna stun Ezra. We're gonna let Ezra ram his face on Jin. Who did we stun last time? I think we did Huyang, right? Just to stop him from supercharging ults. Seems like a decently reasonable idea. Ow. Can we not? A bit of a waste of ambush. I'm kind of feeling passing this to Rados here. Just for the protection region, but we kind of want the flamethrower though, right? As far as I remember, Ezra kind of is turn meter remove, so it doesn't really do anything to hit the stagger. Cool DI. Basic support for healing? Question mark. Receive no healing at all. He is a healer. Or, not healer, but support, right? I'm feeling a solid, this. I need to be aiming R2 at, Ezra now, I think. Probably. Save the AoE for when they have ambush out on them. We don't really need to care about your ambush because you're just on the way out. No burn. We do have to top him up ourselves. How are we only 1 minute left? Good God. Alright. We need to get a perfect defense off relatively quick. I almost kind of shouldn't have reset Drogon, I think. In the interest of time. And breathe. But -3 though. Fuck me. How did that take so long to resolve? That did not feel like a long fight at all. I know they were revived. I don't think I sat there thinking much. Weird. Time flies when you're sitting there jerking off Ezra. Bane, deal with the devil, I suppose. Is there any way around this? I kind of doubt it. Like, Balin's nothing here, right? What else could this be? No. Rob, I would assume no. No, no. I assume no. No, not real. If anything's going to cut through Quiggle, it's going to be Ninth Sister assist high roll. Plus, there's something to be said for the fact that Ma's AoE equivalent increase is actually a little bit counterproductive because then they basic, which gets you mauled. No. Plan A. Nope. No. No question mark? You would have to worry about the fucking death marks. There's a lot you would have to worry about. We need a solution for Maz. We can work around Maz. I don't know. I don't think I hate this. QA has a higher chance than Saw, to be sure, I'd imagine. Saw could run LSTM. But if they just maul the first summon, I don't know that actually gets in. Because if someone's going to die, they're going to gain patience TM, and they might just go next again. Fuck, dude, I actually kind of miss Mace. Weren't we doing Mace against this for a hot minute? Okay, what's the game theory here? QA handles Maz. We are potentially saving Bane. Bane would also be in conversation with SLK, for which we have JMK and JML at the moment. So that's decent coverage there, although JMK, I think, has some trouble with SLK this season. But also, this could just end up being a Bane donation, is the problem. This feels like a Wabakron angle. I don't think opponent's probably going to give me something that I can easily... If we don't do set, they can torture us. Probably I should do set. Probably I should do Wabakron. Probably I should hit battle. Alright. Fuck off, please. Fuck off, please. Part 2. I asked incredibly nicely, and this is how I'm repaid. Cool fight. Let's never do this shit again, please. Ironically, somehow Leia ended up being the worst part of this. Hondo with Hondo Kron in a 1v1. This shit actually sounds kind of cancer to try to solo. Who the fuck would navigate this? I feel like we're looking at a 2-man minimum. How do you stop him from just handcuff comboing you? Is it Wampa? I know we just spent Wampa Cron, but is it Wampa? You get the 1v1 bonus, but he's gonna be crit immune. I mean, Honda was used for Malgus soloing in the past. But that was Malgus AI, which could, like, try to counterplay here. This might not be bad, actually. But we possibly want to hold Malgus, Malik. No, but that's bugged for this week. JKL, no. Han gets one stun and then it's just gonna get fucked. Did we just try Wampa? Okay, opportunity cost. This is at 2 fails already. Wampa Corona is used. Wampa is probably not getting another use. It is -0 banos to try. It takes some solace knowing that. I don't even think it matters what our defense is, right? He's either gonna lock us down mechanically or he's not. Like, who gives a shit? In fact, can't we just go dark side buffs? How does this man just have... Oh, because he's open fucking basic attack. God damn you. Are we now just spectator mode, I assume? I don't think Malgus is gonna work here either. He did double basic. I don't think we want Hondo to basic opener. What do we want? Handcuff upward is also not ideal. But assist is just a basic opener, so it's literally just instant ransom. I guess you do want handcuff, but then you can't solo. Never you tune it? No. It's all part of the process. It's an interesting puzzle. That is what Mandalorian disintegrate. Killing this is not hard. The question is, can we solo it? I think solo is probably a hard no, so now it's a question of duo. If we are to earn some banners back and increase our chances of winning. He has enough cooldown cycle. That's something like Anakin is not going to work. Plus, also he's crit immune, so Anakin means absolutely nothing here. Is it just this? I don't hate it. I mean, yeah, the Dispel Foresight would be extremely nice, but we can always just kind of try to play around it. I mean, unless we're just conceding that it's going to be even worse banners. But, like, he could easily just blow up DR as well. Like, if DR is present, I don't think DR is actually going to be long for the world. Straight up. Whatever, man. Let's just move on. -2 banners. I overthought it. Turns out. Not super bulk. Okay, so literally all we needed was just, yeah, set him up with a kill shot and outspeed him at Malgus Nuke. Like, it was literally just fine. Oh well. Bane was already used, so it's not like Bane is going to miss Malik. Gungans with DV Kron. For the crit damage, I presume. Shall we? No flame to Arts and Marin, but I feel like her job has been relatively chill this week. And Wrecker's has been relatively not. That perhaps Wrecker would have benefited more. Not that she makes bad use of it, but if we're just looking at the scorecard. We almost got it. Alright, the job is close to the whole thing. We could let him ult. Why are you so bad at this? I'm literally trying to let you go. Okay, we're running into time issues just by sheer... What the fuck is happening? Alright, I'm going. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like this is a mistake now because he's gonna ult and not have deaths, which Sash can still die easily. I don't know. It might be fun. Just ramp up a bit. I don't understand why Jabba wasn't taking turns when I killed my TM train. It's like it kept on grabbing bonuses. We might lose on time. I played with fire, I guess. Or played with forces I did not understand. $13K per slice, but only about a minute 5 left. I don't think it'll work. Precisely resolute. I mean, sure, but like literally the entire premise of how we play this is whenever Marin uses her second special, the train ends. So what bug just happened that we couldn't end the train even if we tried? That's literally all we've ever done. Right? Think about when we're killing the sides. We Marin basic, we Marin basic, we Marin basic. Okay, their plague is decent. Second special. And then they go. They didn't go. We were literally looping bonus turns with nobody reviving or anything. It makes no sense to me. This last patch, okay, I can now list. Malgus Doubt suddenly became resistible. Luthen Summon was getting dispelled by Qui-Gon. Luthen Summon did not resummon. Marin randomly re-looping. Like, a lot of shit just seemingly broke at this last patch in a really weird way. I'm not sure I understand. Okay. I think in the future, we will be able to 3-man this. Oh, wait, but they have 70% health. Can we map this out? Is Sawbomb gonna fuck it up? So here's the problem for 3-manning. Right now, my Saw Gerrera is modded for health. When the bomb pops, someone typically falls below half health. I'm not naming names. But someone on the enemy team has pretty shitty protection and falls below half health. And that gives Amidala a bonus turn, and we get all of our coolness increased. So, like, at the moment, that should be our, like, window of opportunity to jump them. All of our cooldowns get increased because Saw can't fucking chill. Which I guess is on brand. But it would be nice to be on brand and also win. So that being said, I'm like... I mean, fuck, man. We need banners. Bad. Minus 50 is, like, perhaps a bit too much to come back from. But we've... I mean, I was literally in this position, and minus 50 was enough to come back from, and I gave up at this point. And giving up is what made it losing. I think, like, this would be the comfort blanket. I think, knowing what I know, this green fuck has 20,000 protection. I mean, the health crown maybe would push it over. Like, I'm sure we could technically calculate Saw banners, or Saw damage. Isn't it like 40%? 30% of the enemy Saga is max health. It's not even 40. It's not even 60. It's 30. Right? He's gonna do like 48,000 health, give or take the scaling that he does a fairly high amount of. We could really use the banners. Very much so. I don't know, man. It's entirely possible we go through this fight and it's like Captain Rex and Baze both didn't need to be here. But for now, I guess Saul's on probation. They just barely stayed over. Damn. Would have been nice. Hi. Okay, goodbye. Yeah. I know. Can we just skip the part where we do all this and just move on? Skip all this pretense. Luthen, do the wavy hand thing. Alright, for banner repair, we need to push for Rex. Also, we need to stop hitting you. We need to go here for a while. Nah, we should do you first. May I have some banner regen? This is just gonna be a 65, isn't it? If even. 63. Fuck all the way off. We need a better protection regen. Is it just Kyle? How could it a 10 stack in soccer is so fucking unlikely, though. Does attack scores a critical hit all areas recover? So was he just not critting? Because half the time that we casted that shit, it was not giving us regen. Does Rex need crit chance? He's kind of on random dog shit mods. 52%, but isn't he like 40% here? 25%. What? So it was a 22% chance to not crit, and we just hit that repeatedly. Plus, like, someone possibly having CA. Alright. Things to take away. Yeah. Captain Rex is going massively on crit chance. Seems to be a running trend lately. R10 Captain Rex? Question mark? It won't attempt to crit if there's no bonus damage, but we've used his crit damage plenty in the past. How many battles are there left? 4 battles? 5 battles? What's the highest power level we could do to try to get some banners back? Gungans, but Gungans are like 65, 66, maybe 67 territory. I mean, EP versus Ray exists. There is no Maz. Could QA do this? Foreman, yeah, probably. Is that valuable? We're sitting on this random pile of tools. You can play Helldivers 2, no problem. I don't believe you. Impossible. I mean, this is really helping us railed. GK is kind of annoying. Also, Cal's gonna be at 15 stack. Would this work? Is this crazy? I feel like we would like to, if we could get back to like the minus 40 zone before ships, I would feel a little bit better. If we could, like, you know, knock on minus 35, that'd be even better here. I am not used to, you know, because it's cheesy behavior to post JMK on defense. I've had to change my ways, but I don't know. I'm not a heavy defense player, so I don't know what it's like to have JMK on offense. Exactly. I mean, what are the rules around instant feed immunity? It's like there for one turn, and then you wait, and then you nuke, and I think we just nuke GK. And then healing immunity, work our way through the rest, and hopefully Ray doesn't smite us along the way. They're gonna have heal block, though. That's kind of a fucking problem. Are there any reassurances we can make? Keta's GL targeting kernel, isn't she? We're 1x2 GG. I'm in it for Savior. Oh, I wish we had light side bulk. I mean, light side bulk would only be 30% here. Just kidding. She isn't, but I, like, literally think we would prefer that she would be. Unless she's gonna prioritize leader, which I would not mind. Like, we have this for more protection, but it's kinda ass. Ah, fuck, man. This is the type of shit we need, but with better health ratio. It just doesn't exist. Crit Avoid is not really in conversation with this matchup. Ability block is actually kind of not bad here, but selectively placing out Ray is not a consistent prospect. How are you? Oh, like fuck. I'm kind of worried about Cal too, though. Unless we could just like JMK through Cal ult. JMK ult through Cal ult. How do you work again? If there are currently fewer allies than enemies, the bonuses to offense, crit damage, health, and defense are increased by 10%. I was hoping for a little bit more than 10, to be perfectly honest. But I guess beggars can't be choosers. How about you? Okay, I mean, you're just gonna die to one world, aren't you? Fuck. Why am I ability blocked? It's fucked up. It's cheating. Who? I really just need you to ults. So I can ult. Please. My family is very sick. What is this fucking stare down, please? We're gonna outspeed Ben. Fuck off. Shoutouts to Ray 9, man. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. This fight would probably not be possible if people didn't equip that dog shit Datacron. Shoutouts to Ray 9 for making the unwinnable winnable. You a real one. Speaking of unwinnable, this turn looks bad. This turn looks really fucking bad, actually. I can't do damage. Fuck, man. We actually did a lot better than I thought we would. I mean, if we had a better, like, a bulk base, maybe. By the moment this Datacron goes. Right, like, Snips did not need to be on crit damage set. We'll simmer on it tomorrow. Or I guess it's the end of the season. Oh, that's level 3 is stuff to deal with. I don't agree that it was related. It was literally just an end to resource availability plus the heal immunity problem. Like, if we had a better built Datacron for this scenario, I think I might have just had more gas in the tank. My health and protection stats are just god awful. Like, my best 3 health crons are FDCs, and then Dark Side, and then Irrelevant, and then Ampag, 44%. Like, I think we just had a good, hardy 70 to 90% health, shielding level 3, I think we would have had more gas in the tank. But the point that we ended up losing, the resources were just spent. But I thought we knew Callan go through GK next. I need to wait so hard on ult then. I mean, the ult delayed us slightly, but I don't think it actually mattered that much. We still ran out of gas. And GK takes a lot longer to cut through than Cal does. Like, look at the difference here. I haven't even looked, but, like, just on usual basis. Oh, it's a defensive drawer. 75% armor versus 72% armor, but the bulk is probably higher. 185, 101. More or less. The real thing is just Ben Solo. Ben Solo, and to a degree Rails, drive the entire basis for that matchup, right? We need to get the healing immunity off. We need to be able to have a good health pool. It's really a good consideration for a first R10. I think definitely not. 5% increase is not worth pushing for. When I look for R10s, I look for R10s that let me do things that I normally would not be able to do. R10 record tonight would have let me very likely win that scenario against Hondo, for example. R10 Marin didn't, in my opinion, move the needle. Like, in theory, it's there for really bad RNG scenarios. I don't think R10 Marin's a bad investment. It just wasn't really relevant tonight. I think R10 Wrecker is being checked on value a lot more than Marin is, or at least more consistently, right? They have to aim at Wrecker. They might aim at Marin. That sort of thing. Does the Cal also gain 30% max health? I mean, there's lifeline and shit like that too. The moment that you want to calculate it accurately, her head starts to spin, 30% array lead. Lifeblood goes to weakest, but then it would happen on turn 2 and beyond. Fucking, even when Lifeblood moves around, whoever got it still gains more. Spend your first R10 on Ben, not for optimization, just for fun. I mean, you could do worse. You could do worse, but also I feel like that team is uniquely threatened right now in a way that might have the most lifespan. Fives is a dead game mode to you right now anyways. If you aren't having fun in the 5v5 game meta, that means that you've probably put your foot down about something and being way too stubborn about it. Sorry, but to be honest, kind of not sorry. I think that's just the good, hard, honest truth. There is a lot of fun to be found right now. You just have to be willing to take some risks. Fun. Yeah, dude. That JMK Ray fight was fucking fun. You know what's up? Here. Let me pull up Insight. How many people do you think have tried what I just read? Should I put the sides in, or should I just leave it JMK broadly? Okay, not even determining ray sides. Nobody has tried that shit ever. Wait, no, sorry. If I enable all seasons, one person tried it once. Like ancient years ago. You would be Sanjita posting if you enjoyed Sanjita posting? This is... I don't know what that means, but I assume you're bitching about cheesing. There's a real argument to be made that bringing 10 GLs plus 5 triple omni teams on offense is fun. Is that what you think I'm doing? You gotta keep in mind that you all bitched that I had JMK on defense. The goalpost keeps moving. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble keeping it up. My head started to spin a little bit. So, is JMK on offense, yes or no? Or is does it like day ending in Y? What's the pattern here? I can't keep up. It's fun to be had, man. Defense. Wait, is it a spirit? It is. Morgan Marin, DTP, most defensive posture, but offensive stats instead of tripling, quadrupling down on bulk. We don't really get any benefit off of this. We would just be looking for this as our best crit damage cron, pending this. Or are we just over here? Mara's gonna clinch it a lot though, but doesn't it just immediately tee us up for I think we gotta go Salbar. Fuck. The way it's been going lately. They do Doom on Balin. We will see if that matters. Leader target doesn't matter on this, right? Why does the turn order swap every single time we put... Last time Merrick went last, and I was like, oh, I'm glad we finally figured this out. Now, he's second. What is wrong with you? Maybe it's just to do with Purge getting resisted or some shit. Lovely. Maybe it's not Salbar then. If it's random on whether or not he gets picked up, that seems less than ideal. Like, Zelbar is better at the job, but... Credit where it's due. He's doing his best. What do you do? Anything real? Very efficient. Dare I? Trust the red woman who cannot be trusted. Who's backstabbing at like every fucking twist and turn, even in scenarios that extremely did not warrant backstabbing. Surely it's not gonna happen this time. I mean, it's DV Cron, so we certifiably go first. They're gonna hurt like hell. But, I don't know. Just win, I suppose? Alright. We bypass the death mark. Now is the cool part where we make meaningful progress and progress the fight and get to play the video game. Now is the part where we get to play the video game. Now's the part. Nah. What just happened? Eh, acceptable. Acceptable, but also holy fuck, how hard is it for this squad to actually do damage? We are over 100 ancestral. This is the squad going even further beyond, to be clear. Alright, whatever. Wait, who has days on pause? Unfortunately, now we are not able to slow down. Oh, lucky boy. You wanna hang? Nope. He wants to veg. What is there left to try? I mean, this exists, I suppose. So Darth Revan auto dispels the force, right? So technically, we're not safe. They have 80% crit avoidance defaults. I don't know if crit damage is actually the way to go here. Like, maybe this would certainly feel safer, but he DS bulk 40% health. I don't think we could do it. LSTM? Will it increase? Question mark? $404 not found. Foreman. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot the other team. Honest mistake. We didn't have protection region. Honestly, that's kind of the problem with not having kicks. The squad is like super reliant on them. Maybe just like a super protection modded Athano or something. Or is a better Datacron, maybe. Something more specific to the task. Isn't DCMG like weirdly well suited to deal with JKL lead, as I recall? Because JKL gets turn meter every time an ally takes a turn and blah blah blah, and it just ends up being a bit bleh. But it's the only non-cleaned up left. That's all I have. I'm actually kind of sad I didn't think to use kick scrum before it went away. Oh well. But the stats are so ass. Merry band of adventurers. JKL still cycle somehow. Yeah, that's the goofy thing about JKL late against the DMG. Like, you don't get to do the damn thing. The tempo was kind of fucking like, what the fuck? Character's good, man. God, and now we have JK assist with crossguard. Okay, this combo might need limit testing. It's basically, what if JKR was hyper competent? What if JKR swap back dynamics, but it fucked? Okay, we need to figure out some shit to do with this, man. The Ahsoka angle, I think, is very real. We need to limit test him. I mean, okay. There's like a 50-50 chance that he's just gonna go with Chimere shortly. But, until that time, there's fun to be had, I think. We get one 3v3 and one 5v5 season. The problem is, I think Ahsoka non-Ezra in 3v3 is just way too exposed. I don't think it's real. 5v5... 5v5, I understand why it's interesting. 3v3, I think you're just gonna get mowed. I don't think you can put up a fight. This is just 3v3 practice, I suppose. Kind of a dick move, if I'm being honest. Who the fuck does that? Whomst. I don't think anybody's solo. They can just pass it back and forth between them in solitude. Would they actually make it? I mean, surely, right? We need a Luminara. Fuck. The Luminara diff is too severe, I'm afraid. This is not the first time that I played JML Gas by RoboBiome. Obviously, LSTP was a staple. But, I gotta say, Jedi feels a little bit more modern than I was giving them credit for when I play them exactly this way. The amount of people taking actions while everyone else was taking actions for a player-sided turn felt really cool in both teams that we just used today. They posted exact, but what? Okay. I have not fought exec in pot month plus. What do we do here? Oh yeah. I didn't mean to retarget. That sucks ass. Look at his AoE. $76, number one. What's the matchups that you want OG Omega in for Batcher? All of them? I don't use Batcher for any matchups at the moment. Yeah, I mean, okay. Treya, I think is possible, and you would probably want Batcher for that matchup, if I'm being fair to the dog and honest with myself, because my style with... Alright, hang on, let me focus. My style with Bad Batch 2 is to drill through the tank, and Savage is a tank who kind of wants you to drill through him. So that would probably be wise not to give him what he wants. I think I should have done on a B-Wing. Maybe not. I feel like Raven's Claw should probably be priority, but whatever. Do we only ignore Tom for the first sort of battle? I guess. Hello. All right, we need to heal before things wrap up. That is 3 turns away. I'm sorry. Okay, you know AoE is allowed. You are not allowed to not be taunting. That's like specifically the one request is that you need to be taunting. Okay. That's my bad. May as well. Man, it would have been fun. I'm just too happy with the basics. What if we save AoEs until Sith Fighter? Just take a huge tempo swing. That ability block is actually kind of fat. Yeah, the fucking interceptor. Yeah, I know. Yep. Tax my shit. I don't know if we actually should sabotage. Why must you do so much damage on basic? We need a better answer to TIE Interceptor. Alright. Obviously not the way I was hoping the season to go. But hey, in the choose your own adventure. I made my choices. That is crazy though. Like at the time, I was so focused on Sith Eternal Emperor versus Marin. And like as I kept thinking on the days after, I was like, okay, a lot of fights are just coming down to record. Like if the scorecard is grading for guy who needs to not die the most, like obviously Marin, yes, but yeah, it's like I said before, they can target Marin, they have to target Wrecker. And the thing that sucks is at the point that we lost today, we were like 2 turns away from hitting the sequence that gave us the fastest Hondo kill that I've seen last match. We almost had the first time breaking past Vayne immediate Hondo snipe. We were at like 65 target practice. Shit was looking good. It was so close. Alright, so I do regret doing Marin first, I think. Not that it's a bad investment, but I think Wrecker this week would have felt quite good. Given the circumstances, that Honda was fucking balling his ass off. Mace went relatively well, given all the weirdness going on. We were certainly helped by the Jocasta. Bane with Wampacron against Inquisitorius went fine. Leia went weirdly long on time, so I lost an extra banner than the usual range of 63 to 65. JMK, man. Did I hear you say take assist? Datacron on Bad Batch 2 might be a thing. Not nearly as much of a thing as Attackercron is likely to be. Take assist is funny. If Attackercron didn't exist, you would feel pretty good about having tank assists, I think. I mean, having a triple down wrecker is not shabby. A wrecker with 5% crit avoidance is, like, slightly funny. Whenever a tank is critically hit while taunting, but he doesn't taunt that often. I mean, he taunts whatever another ally is afflicted with a debuff. Fucking A, man. Taking my own advice. You know what? There's a world where this is actually better for Bad Batch 2. So it really depends. This might help Wrecker stand out. Also, this is very good for Bad Batch 2 and Theory 3. Now that I am sitting with it. But yeah, for 5v5, I still don't think this is option A. I think Attackercron, all signs point to being disgusting. Pretty much every team is probably going to default to it. You're probably going to shift your play style for Bad Batch to make them more aggressive, to make them combo out faster, and just try to Alpha Strike, win the match immediately. But there might be some matchups where Tank Crowd is actually preferable. Like, Hondo as a matchup might be Tank Crowd pref, if I do end up trying that. But that being said, it's like, if you're fighting Hondo, wouldn't you rather just have killing power? New batch or old batch record? New batch. Old batch record does technically have use cases, but it's niche. One of my favorite ideas for this set 25. Kix is going to be on defense. Barris is going to be on defense. Doc is going to be on defense. Sevens is going to be on defense. Jolie's going to be on defense. Luminar is going to be on defense. Jedi Consular might have to be on defense. Pretty much fucking almost every defense team that I could post is going to have a healer in it. I believe in healer Kron supremacy. I just have to figure out how to make things line up to get there. We will have to see. There's a few ways we could go about it, too, now that I think about it. She is a Jedi Vanguard. So is Barris. Mace maybe has interplay with Healing Medium Kron? Well, we will see how the defense does. I suspect that I have bled too much. Damage control is, I think, probably going to end up being one of my skills I need to work on the most as we get back into things. Both in terms of just, like, knowing the best ways to go about it, and as well as resisting temptation. Resisting temptation slash knowing what range our defense is capable of, so I know what a reasonable risk to take is. Like, the JMK versus Rey was a bit ambitious. It was very ambitious, I guess, if we're being honest. That, like, you know, maybe a 4v5 there would have been fine. It's harder to say when you're down multiple, though. If I didn't... I mean, fucking... It's hard to hindsight 2020 on a literal bug happening. But I mean, okay, easy way to put it this way. We had the win condition for Java. I tried to finesse in a scenario where we did not have banner budget to risk finessing. In my mind, at the time, it wasn't a risk. But I can look back at it now and say, like, yeah, that was probably an unnecessary thing to try. I mean, at the time, I was a little bit worried about, like, what if Asajj damage is just too slow that we can't kill Jabba in 3+ minutes on Swordikron with a rampless Jabba, or with a rampless Asajj. But yeah, I don't know. I think it probably would have been fun. And another misplay. We didn't fish for healing immunity as Asajj was about to die. That also could have been a thing. So yeah, there were options, there were outs. I don't think I played today unnecessarily perfectly. But yeah, honestly, still some pretty cool shit. Maz 2v5 Malgus, pretty cool. JMK 3v5 Ray. We need a more dedicated setup for that. I think we could revisit that in the future. Like, we're gonna have to min-max harder, but that could easily return. Although, slight questions for what happens when Ray uses War-1 more often that I maybe cannot answer too easily. I mean, fuck, man. Maybe the Ahsokas jump up higher on the list, but it doesn't even. It's 5% damage reduction, and they get like 1,000+ health. It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, it just doesn't. I can't even make that argument. It just does not work. I'll have to simmer on it. We'll have to improve as players. Figure out a way around this shit. Probably just upgrade their mouth quality a lot too. And you. I wonder if it's ever Ezra JKL2, man. But he starts off in Exile, so that actually sounds kind of clunky. Like, Cal really, really helped Exile today. In a way that actually kind of made it almost click into place that, like, wait, is this just supposed to be a package deal? And then maybe it's like JML Gas Luminara. And that's 2 bids for 67 that I think have some pretty solid push and pull. The JML side is like maybe a little bit less aggressive than I would prefer for JML. But like, I don't know, man. What, like, once you get the gas reset economy rolling, like, it's just good. Like, literally every single turn, you're just less is it a force grip, less is it a Thunder Strike, less is it a force grip. Like, you just keep rolling cooldown increases. We'll see. I'll just do on it. But yeah, I guess I have healers to work on. Consular might have to make an appearance. As crazy as that is to say. Luminara might actually get some proper airtime. I didn't mean to snub her this week. It was honestly just... Jedi are like the one faction at the moment, if I'm judging relative potential versus how I'm using them, I feel like I'm leaving Jedi in the dust a little bit. Kind of because I just didn't really need them. But I don't know. I need to audit my offense and see like what's risking the most banners, and then see if I can't plug Jedi in there. Especially because now we're in this weird space where Jedi super team, right? Gas isn't really spoken for. Ezra almost isn't really spoken for. Luminar gets good protection banners. Healer him with QA. If QA is on defense, it's pretty likely. It's just a question of distribution. Yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be a fun as fuck data crunch season, I think. 3v3, I'll have to contemplate some more, but 5v5, the path seems pretty clear. Well, good luck to opponent. You got a fairly easy score to beat. And, yeah. Good luck out there on the weekend. Thanks for hanging out. Fun night. I was planning to do dispatch in this off week. How long is that shit? Dispatch time to beat. 8 hours? I got the holidays to weed between. I think we could get it done in the off week. I don't know. I've heard good things. It seems good. We'll see. If I do end up doing it, I'll put it on the Discord. I'm gonna enjoy the off week. And yeah, see what happens. Alright. Take care. Peace out.